This question you are asked to find the domain and range of f of x is equal to modulus of x minus 3 by x minus 3. So mod x minus 3 is defined for all x minus 3 is also defined for all x. But in this function, if denominator is equal to 0, then the function will not be defined. So for this function to be defined, the only condition is that x minus 3 should not be equal to 0. So x should not be equal to 3. So unless x is equal to 3, that is as long as x is not equal to 3, this function is defined. So what is the domain? Domain is all real numbers except 3. All real numbers except 3. Now, what is the range of this function? So this is an interesting question in terms of range. So what is the domain of this? The domain of this function is all real numbers except 3. So all numbers greater than 3 are okay. All numbers less than 3 are also okay. Now, what is the range? So if x is a number which is greater than 3, we know that x minus 3 is positive. We know that x minus 3 is positive. So what does f of x become? So x minus 3 is positive. So mod x minus 3 is same as x minus 3 by x minus 3, which is equal to 1. That means if you put any number which is greater than 3, the value of f of x or y will always be equal to 1. So if you put any number which is less than 3 in the place of x, so x minus 3 is negative, x minus 3 is negative. This implies mod of x minus 3 becomes minus of x minus 3. Mod of x minus 3 becomes minus of x minus 3. So f of x becomes minus of x minus 3 by x minus 3. These two gets cancelled. F of x is equal to minus 1. That means as long as x is less than 3, y is equal to minus 1. It doesn't matter which number you take. For all the numbers x less than 3, the value of y is always equal to minus 1. For all numbers which are greater than 3, for all these values of x, y will always be equal to 1. So what is the range? Range is the set containing flower brackets containing minus 1 comma plus 1. So you either get minus 1 as the answer or plus 1 as the answer, nothing else. So range is minus 1 to plus 1. Domain is all real numbers except 3.